Hello everyone and welcome in. So today we're going to be doing one of those pick your pile readings where we have different sets of cards so you can pick whichever one resonates. So in the first one in pile A, this is the Alice in Wonderland tarot. So for example, here's what the Three of Pentacles looks like. So you can kind of take a look. I had this one on a little bit of an angle so that there wasn't as much of a glare. So that's A. And then down here, this is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle deck. So that is pile A. Pile B, this is the traditional deck, the Rider Waite deck. And then down below here, we have, this is the Goddess Oracle deck. So that's Artemis, Guardian. So that is pile B. And then in pile C, this is this like spirit or nature deck that I have. So these, it's different. It has like 10 of crystals, and they mean different things. So that is the tarot deck. And then we have the Gaia deck for the oracle cards. So go ahead and pick whichever deck resonates, and then I'll put the time down below in the comments, so then you can click ahead to whichever pile was the one that was resonating with you. All right, so here we go with pile A. We'll go ahead, we'll take a look at, first line, we'll do our job and careers, then we'll do love and relationships, and then we'll do life path and mission, and then we'll pull some of these oracle cards and see what comes out. So starting with our Alice in Wonderland deck. So we'll do past, present, future on each of the three lines. All right, so in the recent past, and this is job-wise, job and career, we have Ace of Cups. Current energy is Four of Wands in reverse, and incoming energy after that is Four of Pentacles in reverse. So in the recent past, from a job perspective, things have been kind of creative and you felt inspiration. So this is good. That's kind of that surge of energy and enthusiasm for your job. Right now, though, you're sitting in a little bit of this sense of self-doubt or maybe a lack of teamwork. So if you had all of these creative ideas, it could be a matter of maybe the other people at work aren't really jumping on board with it, or you feel like it was a great idea, but then there's just not much movement there. This can also represent family discord. So it could also be a matter, because usually in the upright, this is like happy, harmonious home, twin flame, 1111 is a twin flame card. So when it's in the reverse, it means that there's some uneasiness there and some issues. So it could also be that if you've had all of this enthusiasm and momentum and creativity going in the workplace, it could be that it's pulling you away from home more than normal. So it's creating a little bit of hiccups or bumps in the road there. Incoming energy is Four of Pentacles in reverse. So that's a very generous giving sort of an energy. So something to keep in mind. So since this is job related, that's probably to do with you pouring a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, maybe even some of your own money into a career or into a job or a passion that you're working on. And so it's just something to be mindful of, that you want to make sure, since that's the energy that's coming in, that you do address the sense of if there is any hiccups at home because of it, to make sure that you're including your family or balancing that out so that you don't end up in a situation where things get out of balance. Sometimes this is a little bit of self-doubt. So after a project gets started, you might be having that thought of, wait, is this really what I want to do? Is this going to work out? But you're able to overcome that and pouring a lot of energy in there. So let's take a look now at love and relationships. So if you're not in a romantic relationship, you can also look at this in terms of other relationships, friends, family, whatnot. So let's take a look at relationships. In the recent past, we have the Page of Swords. Current energy is the Six of Wands in reverse, and the incoming energy is the World in reverse. So the the recent past with your Page of Swords energy, that's been, kind of this planning and curiosity, and you have the sense of there is some patience. So this is kind of a little bit of a slow moving page, but it's the beginning stages. So whether that meant that it's a new relationship for you, or whether it's a matter of maybe you were making some changes and there were some kind of new aspects coming into play within your relationship or with your friendships. You're currently sitting in a little bit of like a feeling of like disappointment. So with this, with the Six of Wands in reverse, it's kind of a little bit, you were planning something and things were starting out and maybe they weren't working out the way that you thought they were going to. So it's kind of putting you in a little bit of a off type of mood, like kind of some arrogance, like, why can't they see what I was doing, and it's going to be pushing you into, the World in reverse energy is where there's some delays and frustrations. And so this seems like it's an issue of maybe whatever it was that you were planning, or whatever that new step was you were taking, or that new relationship, that the two of you hadn't been necessarily seeing eye to eye. And so that was creating some frustrations. But let's see what the kind of the next level of energy is underneath. We'll do the cut, and then underneath. So this would be like, call it maybe in the next 30 to 60 days type of energy. So we have a High Priestess in reverse, Ace of Swords, and then the Lovers in reverse. So High Priestess in reverse is, there's kind of that uncertainty, and maybe there's some secrets that are going to start to be coming out. Your Ace of Swords, that's like breakthrough and clarity. So based on whatever these maybe secrets are that are coming out, you'll have a point of clarity. And then with the Lovers in reverse, that is that there's like this imbalance and some distrust, and putting you in that energy of figuring out what is it that you really want. So it looks like there was a path that you maybe had started down and you were kind of planning maybe a little bit hesitantly, and it wasn't quite panning out and you weren't really sure why. And then you start to get some clarity as you see that there's some distrust, and there's some secrets, or some sort of uncertainty that's coming into play that's making you question if it was a newer relationship, making you question, do you really want to stay in that relationship? Or if it was just a new path or a new dynamic or a new element to an existing relationship that, okay, hey, we tried that, but maybe that's not quite what it is that we need in our relationship. All right, let's take a look at life path and mission. We'll see what wants to come through there. All right, in the recent past, we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands as the current energy, and the next level or incoming energy is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Let me scoot all these up a little bit. Okay, so in the recent past, there's been a stability and kind of an affluence. So it hasn't been something that's been needing a lot of your attention. It's been going well in terms of feeling like you were on your path, you were on your, on mission. You're currently sitting in this personal power, like decision-making type of place, but like the Two of Wands, it's about, traveling and where do you want to go? So you're evaluating it not because things haven't been feeling good, but since they have been, it's making you kind of call that into question, like, where do you want to go from there? Your Seven of Cups in reverse is that there's a little bit of like, there's too many options and there's some distractions and some confusion. So some of your distractions and confusion could be coming from this line here about relationships. So if you had this new idea, it might have been related to your life path or mission. And as that was kind of starting to develop, then you were starting to realize that it was out of balance or not kind of jiving the way that you thought it was going to on the relationship side. So there's a lot of, I guess, options there. and you're trying to figure out what it is that you're really moving towards. So with this, you know, even in this card, you can see, oops, she's looking at all of these different like pictures, and she's trying to decide which, you know, kind of which thing should she be focusing on. Let's see from a timing perspective with this, where there's too many options and distractions, what is the time frame for that clearing up in terms of, I guess, getting clarity on where things are going, life path and mission, after you have healed? So there's a little bit of an element of, you could be looking at all these different things because you just aren't really ready to commit to one specific life path or mission. And so it looks like there's a little bit of healing around that. Okay, let's take a look at these Sufi wisdom cards and pull one of these and see what message comes through for pile A. Do not be frustrated. Let go and feel peaceful. So if you have too many options, sometimes that can be frustrating and feeling like, well, but I really have to make this decision. I have to do this. I have to do this. But this is that reminder of just, you know, let go. And when you feel peaceful, you'll know what the right decision is. So, so truth has a certain frequency to it, and it will resonate within your body. If something is the right course for you or the right path for you, you'll feel it in your body. So it's kind of that, that idea of, you know, start to trust your intuition and what feels right, what feels good. And you can, this is an interesting one to do. You can start it out with something very easy, like, you know, for lunch, do I want to have salad or a pizza? And then you take a coin and, you know, heads is pizza, tails is salad. You flip the coin and see what comes up. What is the immediate reaction in your body? And whatever that immediate reaction, even if it's just a really quick one, it'll tell you which one of those choices you really wanted. And so if you can start to condition yourself to be able to listen to your intuition and not get all caught up in your head in mind and ego, that will help you be able to weed out down here if there's too many different options. And it also has that sense, if you're feeling like there's not a lot of teamwork or cooperation, you know, don't get frustrated. Allow yourself to be peaceful and allow the process to flow as it needs to flow. So that is for pile A, and I'll go ahead and clear this off, and then we'll start with pile B. All right, so here we go with pile B. So we will be taking a look at job and career, love and relationship, and life path and mission, and then we'll be doing an oracle card at the end as well. So we will be doing past, present, future energies. Overall energy here, because this one flipped, is the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is kind of like letting go. And there's a sense of abandonment and kind of searching, you know, because all these cups are behind him and he's walking away. So there is maybe that's the overall energy here for the read, is a sense of abandonment and letting go and going and searching out something else. So, all right, let's do that. And in the recent past, this is for job. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. King of Cups in reverse is the current energy, and the Lovers in reverse is the incoming energy. So the Ace of Cups in reverse is that kind of some creative blocks and some losses at work. So maybe you've really been struggling with trying to do something a little bit different, depending on what sort of a job you have. If you're an artist or something like that, maybe you've really been struggling with those creative blocks. And so that's coming up in the recent past. In your current energy, the King of Cups in reverse is there's a lot of worry and stress, and sometimes it has to do with manipulation, the King of Cups in reverse energy. So that could either be that you feel like you're having to manipulate too many things at work to try to get things to come together, or maybe you feel like you are being manipulated at work. But definitely a sense of like worry and stress. So if you've been having a lot of creative blocks, you could be stressed because of the fact that there's expectations on you at work to have certain types of creative output. And if you're not getting that work product, that deliverable, that's causing you some stress and friction and some uncertainty about the future for your job. The Lovers in reverse it's a sense of like disharmony and distrust, and kind of the issue there is trying to figure out what is it that you really want. So this path here seems to be all one consistent evolution, that, you've been frustrated, and it could be that you're just not inspired at that job, at that role anymore, and you just don't really know what to do, and it's stressing you out, and then you feel like things are just kind of out of balance. And this card, it's definitely pushing you to think about what is it that you really want. And with the overriding theme here of the Eight of Cups, where it's that letting go and then searching, that kind of goes along with this message here that maybe it's time for you to start looking for a different job, or maybe not even a different company, but maybe the same company but a different role, or different type of client, or different focus within your job, to be able to give you that creativity and that inspiration that you used to feel for that job. All right, so love and relationships. In the recent past, we have the Star. Current energy is the Six of Wands, and the next level of energy coming in is the King of Pentacles. So in the recent past with the Stars, that's that hopeful energy. So think about it this way, like when you wish upon a star. So it's that inspiration and that optimism. So you've been feeling really good about things, love, relationship-wise, and then you have been thinking about that. Your Six of Wands in your current energy is that sense of victory. Look at him on his horse, and he's proudly marching in, and so you feel like things are going really, really well. And then the next level of energy coming in, the King of Pentacles, this is a secure, reliable, stable, prosperous type of energy. So in a relationship standpoint, it looks like things are really, really solid for you, which that can be helpful if you are in a position where you're needing to take a look at your job situation. So sometimes it's easier to do that when things feel stable, kind of on the home front, so you're not trying to put out fires on two different fronts. All right, so life path and mission in the recent past. Can we see that? Yeah. So that is the Seven of Cups. Current energy is Queen of Cups in reverse. Incoming energy is the Tower in reverse. So in the recent past, there's been a lot of indecisiveness on your life path. So it's like you have these choices to make, but you're really indecisive about it. And it's kind of that there's too many choices. I mean, look at all these different cups, and each of the cups has different things in them. So trying to figure out where you're going. So that's where you have been. And then your Queen of Cups in reverse, this is a little bit of like an insecurity right now, or like a fragility, that there's so many options and you just don't know what to do. Like you're really worried, am I going to make the wrong choice? What if I think this is my life path and it's really not? And then your next level of energy coming in with the Tower in reverse, this is all about resisting change. And you're kind of delaying the inevitable because you have this fear of letting go. So it could be related to this job, like interweaving your life path with your job. Because let's face it, the job or career, that's where you're spending a lot of time during the day. So if this is not lining up with your life path, it could be that you've been holding on to this job for too long, that maybe, this says the recent past has that lack of creativity, but maybe it's been a problem for longer than that. And you just really have this sense of, yeah, but I can't do anything about it because, XYZ, fill in the blanks, whatever that message is for you and that's applicable to you. But there is an element of resisting changing your path. Let's see what level or like what energy comes in after that though. So maybe looking at, let's call it 30 to 60 days out. And we'll pick two cards out there. So we have the King of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So the King of Swords in reverse is kind of almost like a cold weak, kind of cruel energy. And then your Six of Cups in reverse. This is like that you're getting stuck and you're focusing too much on the past. So it seems like this is a little bit longer of a time frame to resolution. So I mean, the good news is here it seems like it's stable on the relationship side. So maybe that'll help give you some breathing room to figure out job and life path and how can you weave the two of them together to be able to get some answers. Actually, before we do this, let's pull a timing card and see when it looks like you'll be starting to get some clarity here on the life path and what direction to go. Within 3 months. So even though this was like 30 to 60 days, it looks like you're going to be starting to get some clarity there, sort of a little bit after that time frame. So at least it seems like it's not too long. So it's not a matter of, oh, this is the incoming energy and it's just going to sit there for the next 6 to 10 months. So looks like it should be hopefully getting some clarity soon for you. And our goddess card. So these are the two that, or actually there were 3 there. So green Tara, start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So ask your guides for help in terms of figuring out what your clarity is. Ixchel, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it, is medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. So consider that. Maybe you have some sort of a life purpose around healing or channeling. And then Isolde, undying love. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. So, definitely, like I said, the relationship part seems very, very solid. So this person is a good long-term partner for you, past life connection. So ask them for help as well in terms of figuring out this mission and this path. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. And now we'll go ahead and clear off and take a look at pile C. All right, so here we go with pile C. So we are going to be taking a look at jobs and career, love and relationships, and life path mission. So go ahead and start. Oh, we had a jumper card. We had our 6 of Acorns as our jumper card. And acorns are wands. So your 6 of Wands, that's victory. So that's success, kind of triumph. All right, let's see. So we'll leave that as the overall message for pile C. And then let's take a look. In the recent past, from a jobs perspective, we have the Knight of Acorns in reverse. We have love, which is the Lover's card. And then we have the Empress in reverse. So your Knight of Acorns, and the Acorns is Wands. So that's your Knight of Wands in reverse. And that energy is kind of this like angry, arrogant, almost reckless energy. So in the upright, it's this adventure, like fearless, action driven. But in the reverse, it's kind of like, it's still those qualities, but it's kind of this unbridled, kind of a little bit reckless, like out of control energy. The current energy with love or the Lover's card, that's going to be, it can be about relationships. It's also about integration of the masculine and feminine energy. So since this is coming up with on the job career side, who knows, maybe there is a romantic relationship at your workplace, but this is also about integrating the masculine and the feminine components. It's also about making a decision. So if you're in a position where you feel like you have to make a decision, maybe from the work perspective. And then we have the Empress in reverse as the next level of energy coming in. So that's kind of a little bit of like a blocked creativity and a little bit of like dependence or kind of codependency types of issues, and maybe feeling unappreciated at work. So you're kind of at that decision point, but the next level of energy coming in is going to be feeling unappreciated and just kind of that blocked creativity. So it looks like there may be a pull perhaps in the wrong direction. So I'm going to pull a couple clarifying cards for that, like the next level of energy beyond that. So we have the World, which is about fulfillment and celebration. And then we also have the Chariot. So the Chariot is going to be your fast moving energy and some discipline. So you can kind of avoid having that, that feeling of being unappreciated at work, kind of, that type of heavier, maybe more negative energy, by having some of that determination. And the world is that kind of like everything's come full circle. So triumph and completion. But I guess that's a couple more cards as clarifying cards, because that's kind of showing you end results, but it's not necessarily showing how to get there. So we have Two of Feathers, which is about making decisions. Your Feathers is your Swords card. So your Two of Swords is about, you kind of have a difficult choice and there's some split loyalties. Your Seven of Shells, your Shells is going to be your Cups. And so that there's kind of some indecisiveness because you have so many choices. So it looks like right now it's maybe more than just a choice between two things. There's a lot of things that you're trying to juggle. There's some decisions that you need to make. So it looks like one decision, like one pathway that you're going down, would lead to kind of this, uninspired lack of appreciation and creativity. So weigh your decisions carefully, as those might be coming down the pipes for you. All right, let's take a look at, oops, I had a couple cards jumping there. Let's take a look at love and relationships. And remember, we had our Six of Acorns. Our Six of Wands was our overriding energy, our overarching energy. So in the recent past, we have our Ten of Shells, which is Ten of Cups. Current energy is Eight of Cups in reverse. And then the next level of energy coming through is King of Wands. So in the recent past, it's been with your relationship, the sense of a lot of blessings and harmony and happiness. So that's the position that you've been in. And right now you're kind of moving a little bit into this feeling of being stuck, and maybe you're avoiding change. And it could be because things have been good. So you're trying to avoid change. Like you don't want to disrupt the apple cart. And with your next level of energy coming in, it is this optimistic type of energy and innovative type of energy. So, your King of Wands is going to be, you're meeting any challenges, and there's definitely like a loyalty to that sort of energy. So, so this isn't necessarily a bad thing that you're in a place of avoiding change, because things have been good. So to some extent, there is that sense of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it looks like things are sitting in a pretty positive place there. All right. So let's, and that kind of goes along well with this victory and triumph, that things are going well, and don't be tempted to say, oh, well, things have kind of been the same for a while. Maybe we need to change things up, because if it's not broken, maybe you don't need to. All right. And then the last piece that we'll take a look at is going to be your life path and mission. Okay, so this one flipped. We have our Queen of Feathers. And so your feathers are going to be swords. So in the recent past, we have our Queen of Swords. So that's that perceptive, open-minded energy. In the current energy, we have Three of Feathers in reverse. And then next level of energy is Five of Feathers in reverse. So the feathers are the swords. So in your current energy, you have your Three of Swords in reverse, and that's a very optimistic energy. And it's also about like forgiving and moving on, because in the upright, your Three of Swords is about heartbreak. So this is that if there have been challenges, you're forgiving that person, you're moving on, and you have this optimistic sense for the future. The next level of energy coming through is your Five of Swords in reverse, and that is about like resolution and compromise and kind of reconciliation. So this is going in a very favorable direction, because you're, again, you have your Queen of Swords. So this is also in terms of being perceptive, and here it's also showing truth. The Queen of Swords is one of those queens of, she's using her sword to kind of chop through any of the BS, any of the garbage that's coming through. And so that puts her in a good position to be able to kind of clearly see what's going on and being open-minded and looking at everything that's happening, because she's cutting through anything, like any of the garbage, anything that doesn't make sense. So it looks like it's going in a good direction, that maybe you've come to some realizations, but you're sitting in that place of optimism, and you're looking at moving forward with your life path, and bringing resolution to anything that may have been causing you some frustrations in the past. All right, so let's take a look at some Gaia cards and see what other message comes out. Thinking of you, a loving thought and serendipity. So that's, and we'll pull one more. So that seems to go well here, that, the whole thing of it's not broke, don't fix it. Flame tree, the start of something new. So even going here on this bottom line, since there is that sense of like reconciliation, and there's optimism, and you're moving forward, there's going to be the start of something new. So being able to take that and cut through any of the noise that's happening, see the situation, move on, and you're having something new starting and coming through on your life path and mission. So it looks like for you, if you chose pile C, that the area kind of to take a look at is the jobs and career part, that you have a decision to make, and one path is going to lead you maybe down a direction that you don't necessarily want to go. From a work perspective, it's going to leave you in a sense of wanting. Oops. So looking at how can you avoid that, and like we talked about, there was a decision that was needing to be made, so there's a choice. So definitely weigh out your choices very carefully before you decide what option you want to go with from a work perspective. So I hope this has been helpful for you today, and there will be a number of other videos posting. So I would encourage you to hit the notification bell if you want to make sure that you are alerted as to when the new videos post this week. Otherwise, thank you for joining me, and I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.